Welcome to all of you in Sankalpa Education Pratham classes. I am Sachin Patil. I am delivered on lecture derivative or differentiation. What is it mean derivative? Derivative is nothing but a rate of change of one quantity with respect to another quantity. It is called rate measure. That means if one quantity is changes, then the another quantity which is depends on that quantity also changes. Let us consider y is equal to f of x be a real valued function. Y is equal to f of x be a real valued function, then it contains three entities. One is a x, which is a independent variable. Independent variable means this variable does not depend on any other quantity, and y is a dependent variable. That means value of y is depends on x, and which is done by using a function f, which is nothing but an operation perform on independent variable x. That means when value of x is taken and you perform particular operation on that variable x, you will get the value of y. That means value of y is depends on value of x. For example, we consider y is equal to f of x is equal to 2x. It is simply 2x is the function, and here we perform the operation multiplication by 2. That means you perform the operation on variable x as a multiplication of 2 by using that function f, and you will get the value of y. Now we consider the values of x, that is the domain of that function. Let it consider value of x is 1, 2, 3, 4 and so on. At that time you perform the operation on x by using a function f, and you will get the values of y, which is taken inside the another codomain. And here you will get the considerations of when value of y x is a 1, then what is the value of y. How it is calculated? It is calculated by using a function. y is equal to f of 1. It is equal to y is equal to f of 1. That means you will get the value of y is 2 into 1, it is equal to 2. That means you will put the value of x is equal to 1 inside the function, and you will get the value of y. That means here you will get the value of y is equal to 2. If we put the value of x is equal to 2, then you will get the value of y is a 4. When we put the value of x is equal to 3, we get the value of y is equal to 6. If we put the value of x is equal to 4, then you will get the value of y is equal to 8. How those values are calculated? For y is equal to f of 2, you will get the 2 into 2. That means you will put the value of x is equal to 2, you will get the value is 4. If you put the value of x is equal to 3, then you will get the 2 into 3, that is 6. If you put the value of x is equal to 4, then you will get the value is 2 into 4, it is equal to 8. and those different values related to x. That means if value of x changes, here change in x is nothing but a 1. Here this first value is considered as a x1 and this second value is considered as a x2. At that time you will get the value of y also changes. This first value of y is a y1 and this second value is nothing but a y2. The change in x is nothing but a delta x, and change in y is nothing but a delta y. Change in y is nothing but a delta y. This delta x is nothing but a change between these two values, and corresponding change acquired across the y value is nothing but a delta y. That means delta y, it is a related change with respect to delta x. It is given as y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1, and this is nothing but a rate. This is nothing but a rate. This is nothing but a rate which is calculated by using a delta y divided by delta x. That means del y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. That is, if x is equal to x1, then y is equal to y1 is equal to f of x1. If x is equal to x2, then y2 is equal to f of x2. Let h be the small increment in x. That is for x we get f of x, and for x plus h we get f of x plus h. Then y1 is equal to f of x and y2 is equal to f of x plus h. At that time x and x plus h be the values of independent variable. Here we considered only changes, or it is a rate of change of one quantity with respect to another quantity. That means if we get the change in value of independent variable x, you will get the corresponding change in value of y, that means dependent variable y, which is given by using this consideration of function y is equal to f of x is equal to 2x. Now this y1 is equal to f of x and y2 is equal to f of x plus h. At that time you will get the values of x is nothing but a independent variable is x and x plus h. That means those values are nothing but a x1 and it is a x2. Therefore you will get the rate, rate is equal to delta y divided by delta x is nothing but a y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1 is nothing but a f of x plus h minus f of x divided by x plus h minus x. X will be cancelled here and you will get the rate is nothing but a f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. This is a rate and it is a graphically written as, if we carry out the graph, is here, y-axis is here and x-axis is here, x-axis and y-axis, x-axis is related to values of x and y-axis is related to values of y, that means f of x. Let us consider one line is here. At that time we calculate the slope of that line by using consideration of 2 points. Let us consider this point is a, having x coordinate is x1. At that time you will get the y coordinate is f of x1. Similarly, B be the point on that line. It is x coordinate is x2 and y coordinate is y2, or it is f of x2. F of x2. Now there is a y1 and y2. You will get the rate, that is nothing but the slope of that line. Slope of line, it is denoted by m. It is given as y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. That is f of x2 minus f of x1 divided by x2 minus x1. Now this is a line, and line has the slope by using these 2 points on the line, and you will get the rectangular here, and that rectangular you will get the B point is a B, C point is here, and you will get the rectangle. Then you can find out the slope is equal to m is equal to tan theta, and is nothing but what is BC divided by AC, and here this angle is theta, which is made by line with a positive x-axis, x-axis. Now suppose your function is not straight line. At that time you will get the consideration like that one. Y-axis is here and x-axis is here. Y-axis and x-axis. X-axis follows the values of x and y-axis follows the value of y, and your function y is equal to f of x is like a curve. At that time you will take the point A and you will take the point B and you will join it. You will get the straight line, and you will find out the slope of that chord, that means AB. The slope of that chord is nothing but x1 is here, that means point A has the coordinate is x1 and corresponding coordinate is f of x1, and B point has the coordinate x coordinate is x2, then x2, and f of x2 is here. But this is a rate of change of function for straight line. Your function is curved one. At that time this point comes near to the point A. At that time the distance between these 2 points becomes equals very less or very small. That means it is approaches to 0 but not equal to 0. Let us consider this is distance is h. This is x, then it is x plus h. At that time this value is nothing but f of x, and this value of y is nothing but f of x plus h. Then you will get the rate is equal to y2. Y2 is nothing but what? Y2 is nothing but what? Y2 is f of x plus h. F of x plus h minus y1 is nothing but f of x divided by x1 is equal to x2 is equal to x plus h, and x1 is equal to x. X will be cancelled here, and you will get the f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. But here we want to find out the rate of change at point A. That means B point approaches to point A, and when B point approaches to point A, at that time value of H is also approaches to value 0. That means point B approaches to point A, at that time the difference between point A and B on the x-axis approaches to 0, and therefore you will get we get limit of this rate at limit of this rate as h tends to 0 is limit of h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. This is called derivative. This is called derivative. It is denoted as f dash x or dy by dx. That means rate of, it is a derivative of y with respect to x. It is a derivative of y with respect to x. Therefore derivative of y with respect to x is given as f dash x, it is equal to dy by dx, it is equal to limit of h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h. That means it is a rate of change of value x with respect to rate of change of value y with respect to x. It is a related rate between the x and y, and you will get the derivative of y with respect to x is nothing but a limit of h tends to 0 f of x plus h minus f of x divided by h, where h approaches to 0 because the rate of change of that curved function at particular point A is taken by using B point approaches to A. At that time the difference between A and B approaches to 0. That means h approaches to 0. Okay, that's the consideration of